Optomate Touch is on a remote desktop, so you need to click on this little icon on the main desktop, and that will open up to a remote desktop connection. Once that has loaded, you need to find the Optomate Touch little icon, which is here, the square box that's blue and says OT, and double click on that. Your educator will log in for you. At the moment, we don't have student logins, so the optometrist will have to log in for you. And then once you're on the main screen, just click onto Appointments, and that will open up. The appointment screen will show up all the appointments for that particular site. So for example, this is Carlton. But if you're at a metro, you can select whichever metro you're at. But we'll just go back to Carlton. And we'll look at the two columns that are assigned to me, Katrina Wong. If you have a look at the appointments, they'll come up as blue if they're booked in, and orange if the patient has been arrived. Once your educator tells you which patient you have, so for example, if you're seeing Mr. Demo 2, you can just double click on that, and that will open up the patient's main general screen. If you want to open up a patient exam screen, there's two ways of doing that. You can open up a previous patient exam by double clicking on it, and then clicking New. If it's a new patient, there won't be any previous exams to open up, so you can just click this exam button that's got the coloured dots. If you're seeing a previous patient, you should always have a read of the previous records. So I'll go through where you can find everything and where you should be recording all of your findings. A lot of the patient examination can just be viewed and recorded from the first tab, the Overview tab, and the examination screen. Unlike Optomate Premier, there is no Interview tab, so for history it comes up only on the main overview screen. There's sections for presenting complaint, general health, past ocular history, and family ocular history. There is a little E on the top right of each of these small boxes that you can click to expand as well. These tick boxes on the right should be used to indicate if the patient drives with glasses, without glasses, or if they do not drive. When starting your eye examination, the first thing you should write is your name, the university you're from, and what year level you're at the top of the presenting complaint box. The general health, past ocular history, and family ocular history boxes all auto-populate from the previous record, but you need to recheck and update all the information. So, for example, if your patient is a diabetic, you'll need to update their current blood sugar levels, check all their medications, and make sure all the information in that box is correct. So just type in what you need to. If you need to see it a bit better, and you can type in there to update anything you need. For entering acuities, you can write this in the aided VA box or the unaided VA boxes here. If the patient comes in wearing glasses, you'll vert up these glasses and write this in the dispensing box of what the glasses they are wearing for your aided vision. The PD is found also on this main overview screen here, as well as pinhole vision here. For confrontation, you can write this in the perimetry box. And for pupils, you can just tick these tick boxes here, or if you need to use the free flow text box here, you can do that as well. For the other screening tests, you'll need to click on the binocular tab to type in your cover test, either unaided or aided. The MPC, you can write in this box here, and then you'll have the binocular ocular motilities, or if you need to do monocular ocular motilities, you've got that box there as well. For your refraction, you can use just the main overview screen here, but if you need to write any additional notes, you will need to click into the refraction tab to write any notes. Like, for example, if you used a different chart. And please make sure you click on the drop-down box to write either student retinoscopy or student refraction. Please still only use 2 lines so that the educator can use the 3rd line, which will pop up on the overview screen. Just the notes don't actually pop up on that main screen. You can use the copy down arrow to copy anything down to the next line, but please don't use the right arrow, which will copy it down to the final prescription here, because the educator should be the one finalizing that prescription. For intraocular pressures and pachymetry, you'll need to click onto the ancillary tab here and type in the free flow text box. Please don't type in the actual number boxes, as that's the number that will come up on the history when you click the H, as well as what will pop up on any letters that are generated. So the educator will be writing the final pressures there. For anterior and posterior eye, you can go back to the main overview screen and type in your findings there. Or you can use the individual anterior and posterior tabs, but please just still make sure you type in just the free flow text boxes, which are usually at the bottom of this screen, but my screen just chops it off a little bit. The one drop-down box you can use is the dilation one though. So you can click yes and put down what you've used, which is usually 1 drop of 0.5% tropicamide, to say that you've dilated your patient, which does appear on the posterior tab, as well as on the right-hand side of your main overview screen here. All your management for the patient should be written in this advice management box found on the main overview screen. So we encourage you to write down all the management that you think for the patient, and then the educator will update if they need to. And finally, the Medicare code that goes at the top here, which will be a T code for teaching, but the educator will generally look after that anyway.